Welcome back to Bash Bros in episode 98 of Notorious Pro Wrestling, TEW Let's Play series, where we find out what exactly would happen if Conor McGregor started his own wrestling promotion. It is a RevPro episode, and you know what that means. That means a lot more editing from me and a longer record time. But not only that, we are back because this promises to be, hopefully, a stonking episode of RevPro. Because not only do we have the winner takes all tag match, where Aussie Open will face the Notorious with all the male belts on the line, the tag belts, the cruiserweight belt, and of course the RevPro Championship. So not only do we have that, we also have the start of the Great British Tag League with the qualifications for the home teams, shall we say. I'm going to go into that a little bit before we get into the booking of the show, kind of what my plans are for the Great British Tag League and the teams that have been invited from around the globe. But before we do all that, let's take a look at what happened last time you guys were here. It was the Fallout show for Notorious Pro Wrestling Wanted, and it was a very, very, very strong show. 70 rated. We had the Prestige out to celebrate Easton Reese's Intercontinental title win. Also, he won the P12. We furthered that feud as well when the Velocities got the win in the 8-man tag, leading to Aussie Open being a little bit more frustrated about everything going on. Jimmy Hayter then showed her true colours, intentionally trying to injure Rhea O'Reilly until Martina made the save. And we had the in-ring debut of Ricky Knight Jr. And in the main event, Rey Fenix tried to get a bit of revenge on AJ Styles, who, after his match with Pentagon Jr. at the Fear No Man pay-per-view, continued to apply the calf killer, whatever he calls it on the indies, after the match, and that was a hell of a match. Ray and AJ tore the house down, but again, AJ not pulling his weight as much as I was hoped, but we did look at his statistics, and we realised his physicals have kind of dropped off a cliff. He is, after all, 45 years of age. But yeah, so AJ Styles maybe can't go just as hard as he once could. So that is what happened last time you guys were here. So let's take a look at the news. The news is I'm a fucking dick. Can I say that this early? 4 minutes. Yeah, we're fine. I'm a dick. Many moons ago, Rey Mysterio was released from WWE, and at the time I did say probably not going to bring him in yet. We had just had a big influx of talent, and I thought maybe when we get to medium size I can help bolster up our main event or mid-card sort of level. I did say at the time though that if he planned on retiring, I would bring him in for a quick run of 3 months up to his retirement, you know, have him feud with the Lucha Bros or tag with the Lucha Bros, maybe a match against Sonico, all these cool things we could have done in that short 3-month period. At the time, what would have been a good idea is to shortlist him, so I would have got the announcement he planned to retire. Instead, I forgot, and he's retired. So all those plans for like a cool wee thing, no, gone, out the window. Oh, I'm such a clown. Oh, this is actually worse than when I accidentally book the wrong people in angles. This is so much worse. He is currently a manager or color commentator. Is he a good color commentator? Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, he's fantastic. Holy shit. 77 color commentator. No, I'm not gonna bring him in. I'm not gonna bring him in. Our color commentary is good, as is with Wade Barrett, Stu Bennett, who has recently been brought in. But it'll be cool. I think the likes of AAA or one of the Mexican promotions should absolutely bring in Rey. Our last bit of news, which I can't show you because I'm obviously on the RevPro profile, is that we are currently, re-signing the Velocities to a new contracts in NPW. Did not realise their contracts were coming up when I put the belts on them. That's never a good idea. Never do that. But yeah, so I'm sure they'll sign sooner rather than later. They have been very good for us. Can't see why they wouldn't stay. Okay, so let's talk about the Great British Tag League then, shall we? So our plan with the Great British Tag League, it is just a 8-team knockout tournament. I didn't want to book 2 round robin tournaments back to back. Obviously the P12, the proper 12, is a round robin tournament. And we just finished that, and I really don't want to do another one. So this will be a straight up 8-team knockout tournament. 4 invited teams from other countries around the world, and 4 RevPro teams. I normally would not have that many invited teams, but one of the reasons why we are starting with the Great British Tag League of all 3 tournaments in RevPro is that we're trying to bolster the tag team division, which is a little bit lackluster at the minute. However, the 4 RevPro teams need to go through qualification bouts. So those qualification bouts are hold on. Grado and Martin Kirby versus the Downfall. So this is a part of kind of the Martin Kirby being the assistant manager. A bunch of comedy skits as well with Grado, you know, for team building exercises and stuff like that. And the Downfall, one of our recent graduates from the Notorious Fight School. The next qualification match is More Than Hype versus the 0121, which is Derice and Dan Maloney. Not much really to say there. More Than Hype, probably our best tag team outside of Aussie Open. They're very good and they're a lot better than I thought they'd be in this game, so keep an eye on them for the tournament. Next qualification match is Filthy Generation versus Sunshine Machine. So Filthy Generation going to debut in this block of tapings. We've kind of been over it before. Kaylee Ray turned on them, calling them losers, battered them, threw Stevie Boy off a stage, and now they're down in RevPro. I just don't think they're good enough for the Notorious roster. Maybe Stevie Boy is, but Kings of Cats, the tag team side of that, definitely aren't. And Sunshine Machine, very good mid-card in RevPro for us. A personal favourite of mine in real life, so that'll be good. And then the Young Guns versus Euro Lucha. The Young Guns have just come out of a rivalry loss to Aussie Open, so they'll be hoping to bounce back a bit. And Euro Lucha are just our jobbers, so don't expect them to qualify. But let's take a look at the teams that we've invited for the Great British Tag League, one of which I'm very excited about. Let's start with the Natural Classic. So this is Stevie, Philippe, I believe that's how it's pronounced, and Tome Philippe. They are Australian, not a part of our alliance loan. They don't work for PWA, but yeah, I thought they looked good. They're young. They could possibly stick about. We've had quite a lot of luck with Australian tag teams. Look at Aussie Open, look at the Velocities, so hopefully the Natural Classics will continue that trend. And then we have the Purge. So the Purge coming in is actually also a part of one of the fan suggested storylines, which will be the reformation of NAK, New Age Click. So the Purge and BT Gun will be coming to RevPro and will be a part of the tournament, which will also have Filthy Generation. And then that will kind of continue on after the tournament and splinter into its own thing, which will probably end up being the Purge versus NAK versus Kings of Catch. Our third invited team then is Private Party. They originally weren't available to work in the UK. I reached out to them using the talk to worker function, asked them if they wanted to. They were like, yeah, why not? So here they are. I'm going to have them in as heels with, I kind of want a nice 50-50 split, 2 heel, 2 face. So they're going to be heels. I don't foresee them staying after the tournament. I think the Purge definitely will, especially for the remainder of the NAK storyline. Natural Classics probably will because they're quite young. But Private Party, they are young, but I just don't think... I think between AEW and GCW, their overness will rise very quickly, and that'll make them more expensive. So I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe we'll keep them. And finally, I'm so happy. Motor City Machine Guns. Yeah, I am a massive fan. I grew up watching them in TNA. They're obviously a bit older now. Chris Sabin was actually unemployed whenever we hired him, and Alex Shelley also actually is hired by a couple of other people. But yeah, so I might keep these guys. I know we don't need them. But I kind of want to keep Motor City Machine Guns after the tournament. I kind of maybe might call them up to MPW, but we'll see how it goes. Much like AJ Styles, they're up there in age, so maybe they can't go as well as they used to. We'll just have to wait and see. That is everything covered that we need to go over. So only thing left then is to book the next 4 episodes of RevPro Live, and then we will come back and take a look at them. Okay, and we are back after our 4-block taping of RevPro Live. So let's take a look at how the shows went. So on episode 33, we had Millie McKenzie backstage wishing Kanji good luck as she had a number 1 contenders match later on that night against current number 1 contender Killer Kelly. And then to open up the main show, Grado announced the format of the Great British Tag League. That will be 4 RevPro tag teams going through qualification matches and 4 tag teams invited from around the world. Then in our opening bout, we had Killer Kelly versus Kanji, with Kanji getting a 41, which is okay, and Killer Kelly getting a 51, which is good. All in all, 48. Post-match then, Killer Kelly goes to injure Kanji a bit more. However, Millie McKenzie runs out and stops her, getting in Killer Kelly's face. 46 rated segment there. And in the first qualification bout for the Great British Tag League, More Than Hype defeated the 0121 in a 57 rated match. Dan Maloney got a 49, which is okay. Darren Kearney got a 61, which is great. Derice got a 49, which is okay, and Nathan Martin got a 56, which is good. So again, More Than Hype proving they are probably the best tag team behind Aussie Open. And in our main event, speaking of Aussie Open, Nathan Cruz defeated Mark Davis when the Notorious interfered in their match. Mark got a 62 and Nathan a 51. All in all, a 60 rated bout. Post match then, all 3 male members of the Notorious attack Mark Davis until Kyle Fletcher tries to make the save, but he too succumbs to the numbers game. Nathan Cruz grabs the mic and screams at both of them that if yous want the match for all the belts, yous can have the match for all the belts. And it is set for 2 weeks time, winner takes all tag match, Aussie Open versus Nathan Cruz and Michael Oku. All in all, that was a 59 rated show, which was good. The only real disappointment maybe would have been the Killer Kelly Kanji match. Moving on then to episode 34. In another qualification match for the Great British Tag League, the Young Guns defeated Euro Lucha, and then post-match Grado comes out and announces the first invitational team, and that is the Motor City Machine Guns. Backstage angle then, and Filthy Generation burst into Grado's office where him and Martin Kirby are engaging in some team building yoga, saying that they want their qualification match tonight and that, go on Grado, tell us who the rest of the invited tag teams are. Grado gets in Stevie's face and tells him, don't worry, the Purge is one of them and they're going to bring one of their friends along, and Stevie looks like he's seen a ghost at the mention that BT Gunn might be coming to RevPro. In a 4-way cruiserweight matchup, Akira Francesco defeats Callum Newman, Talon Jr. and Tajiri when Jay looks like he's going to help Talon Jr. but actually ends up siding with Akira instead. Post-match then, Jay and Akira shake hands to show their partnership. And in the main event, the Filthy Generation defeated Sunshine Machine. Actually a very good performance from Aspen and Lewis, the best they've done in game at all. So 51 from Aspen and 53 from Lewis. So they're already in RevPro and already starting to show some improvement. Then on to episode 35 of RevPro Live. In the opening match, Harley Hudson faced Sky Smitten just to give her a bit of momentum in her feud with Giselle Shaw. Harley had a 40, which is okay, and Sky had a 47, which is okay. Then in a backstage promo, Kirby says that just like every other tag team in RevPro, they too, him and Martin Kirby, would have to go through a qualification match too, in the interest of fairness. And they do, and they beat the Downfall. Darren Blair got a 35, Grudo a 48, Martin Kirby a 43, and Ryan Griffin a 39. All in all, a 45, which is okay. Post-match then, the Natural Classics come out with their envelope containing their invite, saying that they're going to win the whole damn thing, but are interrupted by Private Party, who say that whenever invites go out, they always get invited. And they get into a bit of a shoving match with the Natural Classics on the stage before security pull them apart. Then we had a sit-down interview between Millie McKenzie and Killer Kelly, in which Killer Kelly says she needs to prove to everyone that she is not expendable like Conor McGregor thinks she is, releasing her all those months ago. And then in the main event, the winner takes all match. This was a clusterfuck. So during the match then, not only do both members of the Notorious who aren't in the match get involved, Killer Kelly and Rob Lynch, but people who have been wronged by the Notorious come out and side with Aussie Open. So Carlos Ramo comes out, as does a returning Ricky Knight Jr., just to get some comeuppance on the Notorious, leading to Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davies winning the match and all of the belts. So they are now the RevPro Heavyweight, RevPro Cruiserweight and RevPro Tag Team Champions. And Kyle is 61, Mark is 60, Michael Oki is 64, which was really good for him, and Nathan Cruz at 50. All in all, 61 rated match. It was rather good. Post match then, Greedo comes out and hands Aussie Open all of the titles, and they celebrate to close out the show. Moving on to episode 36 then. A debuting Bad Company, which is Crowbar, Stevie James and BT Gunn, defeated a bunch of jobbers. BT got a 45, Dan McGee a 42, Crowbar 52, Mad Kurt a 50, Rob Lias a 39 and Stevie James a 51. All in all a 49, which was okay. And next up then, Debbie Keitel and Giselle Shaw defeated Harley Hudson and Zoe Lucas in not a very good match. Debbie a 50, which is good. Giselle a 47, which is okay. Harley a 38, which is not great. Zoe Lucas a 44, which is okay. Post match then, Giselle Shaw tries to attack Debbie Keitel. However, if you may remember correctly, Debbie's been stabbed in the back a few times before, namely by Tennille Dashwood, and she is ready for it and gets out of the way. And whilst Giselle is in shock, Debbie grabs the mic and says, "You didn't think I wouldn't see this coming? I have been stabbed in the back too many times to count, but this time I was ready for it. In fact, I brought some backup." And Gia Adams and Lucia Lee come down, lay out Giselle, lay out the other two competitors, Zoe Lucas and Harley Hudson, pile all three into a heap, and Debbie Keitel sits on top of the heap as it is a throne. So this is the debut of a new faction in RevPro, because Debbie has been impressing me in RevPro, so give her a bit of a push, maybe even a run at the RevPro Women's Championship. It's going to be called the Woke Queendom, so Debbie's gimmick is the Woke Queen, so we're going to kind of run with that. So the Woke Queendom. The Woke Queendom. Lucia Lee we brought in because her entertainment skills are absolutely ridiculous, so we're going to make her be the manager but also a wrestler for Debbie Keitel and for the faction. And Gia Miller I just brought in because she's not bad. She's really not that bad. One of our very first fight school attendees. Next up, backstage. Now that all the qualification matches have been done, Grado reveals all the Great British Tag League brackets, which I will show you just after this final wrap up. And in the main event, Akira Francesco defeats Robbie X in quite a good match, I'll not lie. Akira got a 66 and Robbie got a 55, all in all a 61. And post-match, J Money tells us that we are looking at a future Cruiserweight champion with Akira Francesco. All in all, a 58 rated show. So, a not great but not bad bunch of shows, kind of all in around 50s. No real great ones like we've had before, but still not bad at all. News then coming out of the tapings. We did have one injury. Debbie Keitel broke her toe. Yeah, not a big deal. It's only 3 days and she will very quickly be back in action. So in regards to the Great British Tag League, here is how it is shaping up in terms of the brackets. So we will have the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Young Guns in a guns versus guns match. We will then have Private Party versus More Than Hype. That should hopefully be an absolute belter. We then have the Filthy Generation versus the Purge. So yes, the grudge match is happening in the very first round. And then we also have Grado and Martin Kirby versus the Natural Classics. At this stage, I don't quite know who I want to win it. I'm probably leaning towards the Motor City Machine Guns though. Have them win, stick about for a year to help raise the tag division, which I think they're more than capable of. So yeah, that's my thought at the minute. Plus they can feud with the likes of, I think them versus More Than Hype would be great. Them versus Filthy Generation, if Filthy Generation can continue this good form. There's a lot of potential with the Motor City Machine Guns, and then Aussie Open could come back and fight them. So yeah, really looking forward to see what I do. Other than that, guys, that is it. Sorry if this last bit has felt a bit rushed. My microphone stand broke halfway through this episode, so I'm sitting here holding it in place, trying to finish this quickly because my arm is sore. If you have enjoyed this episode, do leave a like on it and subscribe to the Bash Bros channel for more Notorious and other great shows. We've just done the Game of the Year stuff. It was a lot of fun. If you have any ideas for tag teams, feuds, whatever, put it in the comments and I'll try book it for you. The next time you guys will be back is going to be the Made in Europe pay-per-view. But yeah, with all that being said, I will see you next time on Bash Bros.